There are fanatics on the right. Go.
But the Democrats were very tactical, folks. They're not stupid. They understand that it doesn't matter if these illegals vote or not. It does. I mean, it's terrible. Obviously, if they do, they broke the law.
All right. All Democrats do not want illegal aliens to vote. Now, the far left does, but he didn't define it that way. He said the Democrats, no. If you were to believe that, then every Democrat in the country is fostering law breaking because it's illegal to vote if you're not a U.S. citizen. Everyone. No, it's not true.
So I'm just going to say out front, fuck Bill O'Reilly. Fuck Bill O'Reilly. I know you're watching, so fuck you, Bill O'Reilly. Are we good? And I'll explain to you why Bill should go fuck himself. We haven't even done the pre. Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you don't like language, you got to tune out of today's show. So fuck Bill O'Reilly. And it's something I've warned you about the entire time. It's not the cutesy time show, folks. I don't know how many times I got to tell people this. You don't have to be here. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying that the show's not for everyone. I'm not here for the money. I don't need the money, okay? I'm here because I want to change the direction of the country, and I think we have a good path to do it. But I'm not here to make friends with anybody. I'm not. I love you guys, the audience, but I don't give a shit about anyone in this conservative ecosystem that's faking the funk in order to steal.
Dan Bongino versus Bill O'Reilly. What are the consequences to the right side of history as an entire movement? MC2 Tool Show, man. The MC2 Tool Show. Can't believe I've been doing this 5 years. 5 years. 5 years of doing this MC2 Tool Show, bringing out conservative talking points, and 5 years of losing friends. 5 years of people expressing that they would kill me if they met me in person. Literally, the 5 years. 5 years of people of finally coming out that there are people out there that want me dead, that know who I am and want me dead. And that's a great feeling, I tell you. It means you're doing something.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feast and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
I've been trying to get to you for a long time, 'cause constantly you've been on my mind. I was thinking about a shortcut I could take, but it seems like I made a mistake. But I was wrong, it took too long. I got caught in the rush hour. Fellas started to shower you with love and affection. Now you won't look in my direction.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it in. So sitting in for me is Pipsqueak. Here's Pipsqueak. She's cute. She's a kitten. She'll be filling in for me. She's also known as Squeaklet. I couldn't do that to you, my people. Couldn't do that to you. By the way, I'm MC Tuto, rocking the merch. Again, I'll say it again, because it goes great with my Iron Cross and my America flag hat, as well as it does my MAGA hat, Make America Great Again.
So rather than have the little squeaklet Pipsqueak sit in for me, I'm separating myself from Pipsqueak once again, separating myself from my cat for you guys, doing it for the fans. This time sweltering here. I'm in the sweltering hot June sun and doing it for you, the fans. Okay, I already see this ticking time bomb that's about to blow up and sides are going to be drawn. This is something that could potentially get uglier than the Candace Owens Ben Shapiro situation. Definitely could get uglier than the Fox News Tucker Carlson situation. And of course what I'm talking about is Dan Bongino versus Bill O'Reilly. Now, Bill O'Reilly's an old school guy. He champions himself on calling things down the middle and that sort of thing. And so he'll, in my opinion, and this used to like really piss me off about him when I was much younger, and I used to say this man talks out of his ass, especially when he was trying to grill Violent J from Insane Clown Posse, and try to say that Violent J is putting out a very bad message for the youth and stuff like that. And Bill is, as I said, old school, so he doesn't understand the ways of hip-hop culture, so he just doesn't get it. And I think that because of his age, while he may be savvy with a lot of things of the modern era, I think he's mistaking the Democratic Party as being what it's always been, just a bunch of nice people with ideas for a better America that he might disagree with. And the Democratic Party has been hijacked by fanatics. And they did it to themselves. They are the reason why people like Dan Bongino can use the term and be comfortable with using the term the Democrats when describing these diabolical agendas, because they themselves, under the umbrella the Democrats, have these far left-wing ideologies, these fanatical ideologies. Okay? And there's a lot more fanatics that are cloaking themselves as moderates on the left than I believe Bill O'Reilly even realizes that. And I'm a bit disappointed in Bill O'Reilly, to be honest, that he actually wanted to use an example of what far right-wing fanaticism is, and use Dan Bongino as that example. Now, I'm not going to use like the four-letter words that Dan Bongino used to describe him, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I'm against Bill O'Reilly as a whole, but I think he's mistaken here by labeling Dan Bongino as a right-wing extremist for describing what is a leftist agenda, a fanatical leftist agenda, and saying that the Democrats want that. The Democrats did that to themselves. It's not Dan Bongino falsely putting the label of the Democrats onto this agenda. It's them allowing the fanatics into their club who are now pushing this agenda. And as I said, there's more leftist fanatics under the guise of being democratic than there are right-wing fanatics under the guise of being Republican. And I think Bill O'Reilly is a little too far in the past to accept that this is the future that's wanted for the Democratic Party, for Democrats in general, and ultimately America as a whole. Actually, not ultimately for America as a whole, ultimately for the entire world as a whole. And Bill is one of those people that want to say they're on the right, or they seem to lean right, claim they're in the center, but will turn around and say that the 2020 election for President of the United States was not a fraud. I'm one of those people that believe wholeheartedly they cheated to get Joe Biden in. Until I see with my own two eyes proof otherwise. I don't see it. I just don't. Now, as far as Dan Bongino going in using all this disrespectful talk, I can neither condone it or condemn it. Both of them worked for Fox at one point. Both of them had to have crossed paths in the past plenty of times. I believe that to be a personal thing between the two of them, and it's not my place to say, no, Dan, don't say that. Bill is an old man. You should show some respect for your elders. Because I see it from this perspective. I believe Dan Bongino to be the type that no matter what your age, if you're spouting stuff that's going to screw up the movement to preserve America, you deserve every dirty word in the book thrown at you, and then some. You've seen plenty of times on Sean Hannity's TV show, him and Geraldo Rivera going at it, and Geraldo is another veteran reporter. And he got under Geraldo's skin one day because he was talking about what a stupid idiot Geraldo was for suggesting that the holders should be cross-mounted versus having it as a sidearm. And he's talking about how much easier it is for the bad guys to get a hold of your weapon than yourself if you're a cop. And then he goes on to say, but you wouldn't understand that, Geraldo, because you want to see our cities up in flames. And then Geraldo just went off. I think he was calling him a punk, trying to challenge him to a boxing match. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but it didn't. That dialogue between the three of them didn't go well, and Sean Hannity had to cut the both of them off and go to a break. And you could still find it on YouTube. It's entertaining at the least, but again, Dan Bongino makes a point, and he was right to call that suggestion idiotic. Now, would I have said it in a more eloquent and respectful manner? Yeah, probably would have, but that's me. I can't govern how Dan Bongino should talk. Dan Bongino obviously has a passion
for this country and conveys himself in a certain type of way. And his heart's in the right place, and I'm not going to stand there and condemn him for his manner of speech. And as far as him really, really going in the way he did on Bill O'Reilly, you know, it goes beyond, I think it goes beyond Bill mistaking him for a fanatic. I think it goes beyond him mistaking him for a right-wing fanatic. And there's a lot of personal business going on in there. You know, like, I think Bill might have even made that dig because he kept trying to get on Bongino's show to promote his books. And in all fairness, I do own a few of those books. I own the Killing Reagan book and the Killing Patton book. And I started like really watching Bill O'Reilly when he was on the first TV. So as far as him being a nobody and somebody whose career has sucked since he left Fox, I might disagree with Dan Bongino on that, because I do watch Bill's program on the first as often as I listen to Dan Bongino's radio show over the interwebs. But speaking of First TV, I also own a book by a First TV host by the name of Jesse Kelly. And that book is the Communist Manifesto. I recommend you rush to your favorite website that sells these sort of things and buy that book, because it really gives a detail of how evil the left is. Hence why I often call the left the evil left. Getting back to why I believe Bill O'Reilly was wrong for making it seem like anybody that does not underestimate how evil the left can be is some sort of right-wing fanatic. You're encouraging people on the right to drop their guard. That's kind of a no-no. That's something you shouldn't do. And you know, I'm a little disappointed that a person with as many years walking the earth, knowing how things are, a person who himself even said that Joe Biden has to be at least the second worst president of the United States. Trump would say Biden's the worst. Bill O'Reilly would say he's the second worst. And the only president worse than him is James Buchanan. And I would beg to differ on both. I would actually wedge Martin Van Buren between Buchanan and Biden. But nonetheless, it's all agreeing to disagree on certain things. But a big no-no is to underestimate just how evil the evil left is. They are not above wanting people who are not natural born or naturalized citizens voting for President of the United States. They are not above wanting that to happen. And yeah, that is the evil left. And I'm sorry, but if Dan Bongino wants to say that faction is the Democrats, is he really wrong? I don't think so. Look how many people of that fanatical faction totally jacked the frickin' party as a whole. So that's my opinion on it. I mean, I don't want to pick sides. But when it comes to the argument of whether or not the Democrats want the most evil stuff on the face of the earth to happen or not, I'm on the side of the argument that believes wholeheartedly that the Democrats are infiltrated by the evil left, and they might as well be under that umbrella, the Democrats, because of what they allowed to happen within their own party. And yes, it is disgusting. It is something that should never be, but it is what it is. And I think Bill is very mistaken, and he went about it in a way that pissed Bongino off. And was Bongino a bit excessive? I can't make that call. I can't make that call because I believe there's a backstory between these two men personally. I hope it doesn't cause a whole ripple through the right side, but considering that Bill O'Reilly's one of those guys that told Donald Trump, "Oh, come on, you don't mean that about John McCain. He's a war hero." And I'm totally with Donald Trump. And I don't care how dead John McCain is. Donald Trump was right to say, well, what? He's a war hero? Why? Because he was captured? I like my people not captured, I hate to tell you. So, yeah, there's that. There's his belief that as bad as Joe Biden was, that he was elected fair and square. There's that. So, Bill O'Reilly, to try to keep the people on the fence engaged, will tell you things that are not really the beliefs of the majority of the right. The majority of the right. Not some fringe fanatical faction of the right. The majority of the right believe the 2020 election was stolen. They believe John McCain did a horrible job orchestrating the Trump rally in 2016 or 15 or whenever it was. It's not a fanatical right position to say that the left is so fanatic that they've infiltrated the Democratic Party, so much so that it's safe to say the Democrats want illegal trespassers, as I call them, to be allowed to vote for the President of the United States. I don't think it's a fringe fanatical right wing to believe that, because of how fringe fanatical left the Democratic Party has swung. I'll bet Bill O'Reilly, if he knew who I was, if I was on his radar, and I were to say crime runs rampant because of the Democrats, would disagree with me. He would probably say, "Oh, come on, John, you can't be serious. You really believe that Democrats really want crime to run rampant?" Proof is in the pudding. Stats are stats. I don't believe anybody left of center has their heart in the right place for this country. And the more crime I see, the more it proves me right. So, I guess I said I don't want to take sides, but you could see where my position is on this matter. Anyway, respect God. Please do that. Respect God. God, the God who resides in holy heaven, which man did not create. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share my content when and where you see it. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. I'm going to get out of this hot sun, this infernal light here. And I'm MC Too Tall.